Hello everyone, welcome to StudyIQ IS English channel. My name is Shubham Sagar and today we'll do Hindu analysis of 19th June 2025. So without wasting any time, let's start the discussion of 19th June 2025. In fact, in today's article like 19 June Hindu, there are so many good editorials. I have taken 3 of them. We'll talk about them. Let's say we'll talk about one editorial right now. We'll talk about Finance Commission, 15th Finance Commission, 14th Finance Commission, different criterias. We will solve PYQs. We'll understand it from mains perspective. Why North-South divide, so-called North-South divide, has been created because of the resource devolution. What states are asking for? Why they're asking for increase in the share of states from 41% to 100%. So 100%, I'm saying 50%. So we have to talk about the issues from pre as well as mains perspective. So we'll talk about it, one editorial and then one non-editorial and then again one editorial and then again one non-editorial. That's how we will go about things. Good morning, Mamta. Good morning, Sanjana. And good morning, Rishi. So let's start. So this is an article which is on page number 8, editorial, and here even the BJP rule states, they are talking about that center should increase. Let's say there are 100 rupees which center came in form of different forms of revenue including taxes. So out of those 100 rupees, center is currently giving 41 rupees. Here also you will witness, we'll talk about this article in detail, you will witness different types of words. Horizontal devolution, vertical devolution. So what is horizontal devolution? Horizontal devolution means when revenues are divided among states. Vertical devolution means when revenues are shared among center and state. So do remember these terms. Then there is income distance. Again, there are so many. Demographic performance. So we have to talk about a lot of terms which are involved here. Very, 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 very one of the most important articles you will read in the last few days. So why even BJP rule states are saying that the center has to increase share from 41% to 50%? The reason is after GST, the taxation power of states have reduced. The second point is so now states are very much dependent on center for revenue. The second thing is cess and surcharges. So central government, they impose a lot of cess and surcharge and it's not in the divisible tax pool. So there are different words here, divisible tax pool. So this cess and surcharge, which is imposed by center, that is under non-divisible tax pool. They are not sharing it with state. So state's rationale is that please sir, you are already getting a lot of amount from cess and surcharge. After GST anyway, our taxation power has reduced a lot. So please increase the tax pool from 41% to 50% for states, including BJP rule state. 16th Finance Commission recommendation will apply from 1st April 2026. Here we'll also try to see. Good morning, Jagatpati. Good morning, Mohit. So here we'll also see what was the criteria in 14th Finance Commission when it comes to resource devolution. 15th Finance Commission will do a comparative analysis. As far as 16th Finance Commission is concerned, whose recommendation will apply from 1st April 2026, as of June 2025, they have not given the criteria that how they will be dividing the resources. Cool. So demand for higher devolution, 22 out of 28 states are saying that divisible tax pool has to be increased from 41 to 50%. Okay, sir. What is the rationale? We have talked about cess and surcharge. All money goes to center. They are not sharing it with state. The second point is states dependence on central transfer. After GST, states have limited independent revenue raising power, which we have discussed, because GST, it subsumed so many indirect taxes, octroi, etc., making them more dependent on central transfer. So this is the second reason after cess and surcharge. Inequity in horizontal devolution. We have talked about this and inequity thing that, and you will understand it more. Let me first of all show you certain stuff and then we'll talk about these points again. Let me first of all show you a comparative analysis. So this is an image which you people may have seen a lot earlier also, and you will keep on seeing it till the time you clear UPSC. 14th Finance Commission, they had different criterias. 15th Finance Commission, till 2026, they had this particular criteria. 16th has not yet given their criteria. So if you see this, income distance, what is the basic meaning? We have to understand each and every word. Every word is important from every exam perspective, especially UPSC. So income distance means, let's say your state's per capita income, how far it is from the richest state, let's say Goa. So that is income distance. The distance between your state's income, per capita income, if it is more like from Goa, then you will get more revenue, more money because you are poor. So earlier it was 50%, now it has reduced to 45%. Many people feel, again, it's fine. Population 1971, 17.5%. Earlier, you see the weightage. In 15 Finance Commission, you have to pay attention because UPSC can frame question here that in 15 Finance Commission, population of 1971 is the criteria. That is wrong. Population of 2011 is the criteria. That is 15%. And in 2011, they were using both. Now, population 2011, 15%. Now, southern states, they have issue with this particular point. Why? Because they are saying that you are increasing the importance of population 2011 as far as resource devolution is concerned. Good morning, Elvarasan. So they are saying that if you are increasing 2011 population criteria for resource devolution, that means people, the states and the so-called Bimaru states, Bihar, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Uttar Pradesh, I am from one of those states, they will get more revenue as compared to those states which has stabilized their measures. Now, to address these concerns, what government did was, or what Finance Commission did, which has been established under Article 280, they introduced one more criteria which was known as demographic performance. You can see here, this is a new criteria introduced under 15 Finance Commission, which has been given a weightage of 12.5%. What is demographic performance? The basic, sorry. So the basic meaning of demographic performance is that when you are talking about states, how much states have taken effort to control population, to control fertility rate, that comes under demographic performance. Sometimes I shout so much, I lose my voice, I don't know why. So demographic performance, total fertility rate, how much they have, states have ensured. In fact, in a way, this is government's way or Finance Commission way of paying back to those states which have taken steps to control their population. So when you talk about this population 2011 North-South divide, oh my God, I don't know what has happened to my voice. You can always counter that point where people talk about that population 2011 has higher weightage in 15 Finance Commission. You can counter it this particular point that no, 15 Finance Commission has introduced demographic performance to cater to southern states' grievances. So it's not like, the Finance Commission is not concerned about southern states' grievances. That's why they have introduced demographic performance. Cool, sir. Area is there. Then forest cover was there earlier. Now they have introduced a broader ambit, forest and ecology, and given more weightage. Tax effort, how much? Even here, in a way, center is, or Finance Commission rather is promoting those states which are taking steps to increase their tax percentage or increase their tax collection. So all these are good measures. When it comes to demographic performance and tax effort, these are actually good measures. So hope you understood some part of it. Now let's go back to the core of the issue and then we will have a discussion on these things. So we are talking about why 22 out of 28 states, they are talking, and good morning Anuj, they are talking about increasing the devolution from 41% to 50% because they have limited taxation power, inequity in horizontal devolution. Here we are talking about population and income distance criteria. Southern states, they have major issue with this. 2011 population, which we have seen, 15% criteria, and income distance, which is actually a major chunk. Again, if you go back and if you see the criteria, here also, if you see this, these population is again fine. Income distance out of like 145 unit weightage has been given to income distance. This is actually a lot, even though it has been reduced. But even now what is happening, the poorer states, they will get more resource devolution. Southern states, they are pointing out that let's say they're performing good when it comes to economic indicator, social indicator, then why should they be penalized for it? The center counterpoint is obviously the poorer states, we have to take care of them. Otherwise, poor states will become poorer, rich states will become richer, again, inequality and inclusive growth. So income distance is again a major criteria. Population, you can say it has been countered to a certain extent by demographic, effort that has been written. Fine. So states, southern states, they are not very happy with this population and income distance criteria. And we have discussed this. Now, Chairman Arvind Panagaria, who is heading 16th Finance Commission, he's saying that 50% devolution will be too much and we don't know whether we can do it or not because center currently is under so much pressure to increase defense expenditure. We know why. India, Pakistan, Operation Sindhu, capital projects. So he is not giving a, affirmative answer that yes, we will increase it from 41% to good morning, Shudan, 50% or not. Risk of status quo. Keeping devolution at 41% would be a missed opportunity. Again, author is saying that center is already getting a lot of money from cess and surcharge, which they are not sharing with state. So it's better that they increase it, at least increase it somewhat from 41% to, and it goes against the spirit of cooperative federalism. So we have heard and we have talked about two words a lot in the previous Hindu analysis: cooperative federalism and competitive federalism. So what is cooperative federalism? When states are coming together working for states and center, they're coming together working for a common cause. Competitive federalism, when you're ranking state, that this state is doing very good when it comes to cleanliness, etc. So you are creating a competition among states, which is done by various reports published by Niti Aayog and other. That is competitive federalism. So again, they are saying that no, man, if we center cannot just think about themselves and increasing their resource, etc. They have to think about states, and they have to promote all states at the same time, promote the spirit of cooperative federalism. Fine. So again, even if not 50%, let's reach a middle ground, 45, 46%, because states need it. Their resource, their taxation power has been taken away to a greater extent by GST, so they need it. It has to be increased. That's what author is saying. Improvement in horizontal distribution formula. We have talked about two major words here: horizontal distribution, vertical distribution. Horizontal devolution, vertical devolution. Hope you understood it. The formula should better balance the needs. They are saying that horizontal distribution or devolution, when you're dividing resources between states, it has to, income distance 45% weightage, maybe it's too much. Maybe let's say reduce it to 40%. Let's say reduce the criteria of demographic performance, tax effort to a certain extent. We can do a lot better when it comes to horizontal distribution, according to author. Call for strengthening federalism, because finance commission, resource devolution, is a very important criteria. And federalism, division of power between center and state, if these horizontal distribution measures are taken care of, it will promote federalism, it will strengthen our India's federalism. Pay attention, you have to have a look at this particular chart a lot, and very important, because mains question, pre-question, good morning Pooja, good morning Sashmita, they have been asked a lot on finance commission. Okay sir, now let's solve questions related to what we have just discussed. MCQ 1. My voice is gone. In our time, there used to be an actor. His name was Allu Arjun. There was a movie of his, Arya. My love is gone. In between, my voice was gone. So, income distance. What is the basic meaning of income distance? Chepandi chepu telsule dukadu. Chepandi means tell me. So income distance, disparity in income levels between richest and poorest individuals in a state, difference in per capita income between two adjoining states, the gap between per capita income of a state and that of the richest state, the average income gap between rural and urban areas within a state. So what was income distance? What have we discussed? Income distance means your state per capita and the difference between your state per capita and the per capita of the richest state, which in this case we are taking Goa. So the answer, as Ravi has stated, Ravi is always one of the fastest, if not the fastest, when it comes to answering questions. The answer is C. The gap between, you can get confused, but you have to choose the best possible option rather. So the gap between per capita income of a state and that of the richest state. Very good, Ravi, Mamta and Shashmita. Shashmita is from Odisha. So MCQ 2. Which of the following are part of the 15th Finance Commission's criteria for horizontal devolution? Very important article. This is one of the most important articles which we have covered. Not only today, but from the last 10 days when I'm taking Hindu analysis. So income distance, population, tax effort, forest and ecology. So Ravi, Mamta, Shashmita, Anuj, all of you have given the answer. Awesome. '15th Finance Commission criteria. You have to do 14th, 15th, both, and there. So Ravi has given the answer. D 1, 3 and 4. So income distance is a criteria. Earlier in 14th it was 50%. In 15th Finance Commission it is 45. So obviously one is there. If one is there, it's not solving. All of them have one option. Population 1971. Population 1971 is not there in 15th Finance Commission. They have taken 2011. So 1971 is not there. Second, eliminate second. If you eliminate second, then you have just eliminated B option. Tax effort is there, forest and ecology is there. So oh my god, A and D, both of the options are same only. Pardon me for that. So the answer will be both A and D. UPSC also makes mistakes, not like this, but yes, that can happen sometimes. So the answer is 1, 3 and 4, and yeah, A and D, whatever you want to call it. So Ravi, Rishi, RJ, Mamta, Sanjana, everybody has given a correct answer. You people are awesome, just like a wow. I will change it when I will share it in the Telegram group. I will change the last option to D, 1, 2 and 4. Cool. Fine. So the only thing which you have to keep in mind is population 1971. That is not a criteria. If you go back and if you see it again, you will realize what I'm saying. Population 1971 no longer is a criteria under 15th Finance Commission. 2011 is indeed a criteria which you have to keep in mind. Very good, you people. Okay, sir. So now, next article of the day, one editorial we have done, a dense article. So let's do a not so dense article and then we will again go into a dense article. So page number 12, a factual information, India has launched Operation Sindhu. They can directly ask you, Operation Sindhu is related with what? So it is related with evacuating 110 students from Iran. Out of these 110 students, as you can see here, 90 are from Jammu and Kashmir, rest 20 are from Karnataka, UP, etc. So they have been evacuated. The procedure is from Iran, they went to Armenia, from there they will go to Doha, etc. and they will come. So yeah, just a factual information. Just remember what is Operation Sindhu, launched by Indian government to evacuate Indian nationals from Iran, and that's what you have to keep in mind. They cross into Armenia, and again, when did they cross? What was the time? That is not very important. From Armenia they will go to Doha, Qatar, and from there they will come to India. Okay, sir. Factual information. Let's solve a PYQ 3. The previous article is like so important. If I want to, I can make 1 hour video on that Finance Commission thing. PYQ 3 asked in UPSC 2000, primary function of Finance Commission. Primary function of Finance Commission in India is to distribute revenue between center and states, prepare the annual budget, advise the president on financial matters, allocate funds to various ministries of the union and state governments. Good morning, Shashikala. Long time no see. Where were you, Shashi? So as Ravi has stated, Mamta has stated, the answer is A. Again, choose the best possible option. What have we discussed? Why center and states are fighting? Horizontal devolution, vertical devolution, income distance, this and that. The point is because of distribution of revenue between center and state. So the answer is A. Distribute revenue between center and state as stated by Ravi, Mamta, Rishi, Shudhan and Shashmita and Anuj. Very good, yaar. Now, third article of the day, page 8 editorial, failed summit. So now here in this particular editorial, author is saying that G7 meeting, which is actually an informal meeting of rich countries of the world. We have talked about G7 earlier also because our honorable PM sir is going there, and we have heard and we have talked about the mnemonic. What was the mnemonic? If you know it, please post it in the C option. Explain, sir. What was the C option? C option is advise the president on financial matters. Yes, they do that. They do, Finance Commission do that. But here the primary function they are asking, Rishi. Again, as I've told you, the best possible option is A. Like this is their primary work. Jagannath. Okay, Jagannath. Cool. So now let's focus here. Now, page 8 editorial. Here what they are talking about. Jagannath. So I asked you one question. What was the mnemonic of G7 which we have discussed? How do you remember G7 countries? It is an informal grouping. Do remember, they can give you what is G7? Informal grouping. It's not like, it's everything which they discuss has to be implemented. Informal grouping of advanced economies. Okay, sir, G7, 1975 onwards, they are meeting. This is the 50th year, but they are saying that it's a complete failure. This author is saying that it's a complete failure. Have they able to do anything about Russia-Ukraine war? Nothing. Like any issue you pick, they have not been able to do anything. Israel, Iran. Now what has happened? Trump has left early. G7 meeting he attended, he left early. Now he's talking about converting G7 to G9. And he's talking about including Russia and China. Ukraine was like, dude, what is this US? So the thing is, the talks are going on in different ways. And nothing concrete is coming out of G7. The author of this editorial, he goes as far as saying that maybe our honorable PM sir should not have gone there. He is still there. Trump has gone. What is the basic meaning here? What is this indecency? So again, let's try to understand this G7 meeting. As Sanjana is saying, juice GF. Sanjana is a very good girl. Sanjana, Ravi. So juice with GF. Juice GF is the mnemonic for G7 countries. Japan, US, Italy, Canada, England, Germany and France. So you have 2 countries from North America, 4 countries from Europe, 1 country from Asia, that is Japan. China is not a part of G7, do remember? Now they want to make it G9. Trump wants to make it G9. I don't like Trump at all, although our personal preference don't matter. So G7 at 50 shows weakness. Despite being a powerful bloc of advanced economies, G7 appears disunited and ineffective. And we have talked about it. Have they done anything about Russia-Ukraine war? Zilch, zero. Israel-Iran tension, zero. Ongoing Israel bombardment of Gaza, zero. So they are zero. Nothing concrete is coming out of it. Failure on trade disruption. Trump became a tariff man. There was a time period. Okay, Jagannath. So what I was saying, no one liked Trump, sir. Exactly. Trump at one point of time became tariff man, 150% tariff, 125% tariff. World was playing tariff. You know, China, US, and then India also. No, did G7 did anything? No, the answer is zero. Zilch. Canada's political instability. Even now, Mark Carney, he's having talks. He invited Modi, sir. Did Canada change their stance on Khalistan? The answer is zilch, zero. So then what is the use of G7 then? Then when everything is resulting in zilch, zero. So US foreign policy unpredictable. Trump is shifting stance on Russia. As we have just discussed, Trump is now talking about G9. They can ask you this, the proposed G9 club includes which 2 countries? The answer is Russia and China. So Ukraine is like, bro, what about us? NATO, you were supposed to support us and now you want to bring Russia into this whole table. So again, you can understand ambiguous China policy. What is Trump thinking about China? Trump is like a, kid with a candy. And a very moody kid with a candy. So once he said this, other time he says that. Support for Israeli aggression, US bloc's joint statement. See here, there was a statement in G7 where they talked about de-escalation of conflict in Gaza and criticizing Israel. Trump was like, nah, I don't want that. So US pushed for a condemnation of Iran, which is actually bearing the brunt. Nobody knows for sure. I made a video yesterday related to Israel's or Netanyahu's endgame in Iran, which was an editorial yesterday, I guess, or opinion or something like that, which came in Hindu yesterday. So there we are talking about how Israel is slowly turning into a rogue state. I'm not saying it, authors are saying it. It's not about Iran. They are trying to capture territories of Syria, Lebanon, here, there, everywhere. You can say that, sir, they are a state surrounded by so many hostile neighbors, but even then in that scenario, they are becoming rogue. So we have to understand both pros and cons. Where do you draw the line when it comes to, the stance taken by Israel? Trump left the summit, early people are there. What is the meaning, man? Hope you can understand why the author is saying that G7 is continuously becoming useless. India not mentioned this, including in GS, only guest country. Exactly. India is not a part of G7 core group. Focus shifted to now they have started talking about AI, quantum computing, seriously? You did not talk about any of the big issues and you are talking about these issues. Transnational repression. Please pay attention to this particular word. This is a keyword here. They talked about something called as transnational repression. Do you know what it is? It is about repression or, freedom of speech getting curbed in different countries of the world. They did not directly mention India, but indirectly people say there was tacit mention of India, China, etc. That in these countries freedom of speech has been, impacted to a certain extent. Again, raising the question why we went there. No statement on terrorism. Because again, understand one thing, even when you will read about Shanghai Cooperation Organization later on, you will understand that there is no, worldwide definition or common definition on terrorism. Why? Because one country's terrorist become other country's freedom fighter. So all these things happen. India, Canada diplomatic reset, they have started talking. They have started restoring high commissioners, which is actually a good thing. But there is no change in Canada's stand on Niger or Khalistan. So again, nothing much has changed. Okay. So yes, questioning the utility. So do you think we should have sent our honorable PM sir over 11,000 kilometers for such an outreach session where Trump has went early, where he's talking about G9, where they are silent over Israel, where they are silent about, Russia, Ukraine? Again, many people believe he should not have gone. Modi sir should not have gone. Okay, let's solve some questions based on what we have read. Which of the following countries are member of G7? Chapandis. G7, we have seen the mnemonic. Russia, Italy, Japan, China. And Chapandi is fast. Pooja has given the answer. So, Russia is not a member. Russia was earlier a member. See, understand one thing. 1975, when G7 was formed, it was initially G6. 1975, it was initially G6. Then Canada joined. And then around 1998, do check the year, Russia joined and it became G7. Then around 2014, Russia annexed Crimea. Then again, it became G7. So all these things are going on. G6, Canada joined G7. So G8 was Russia. Russia is not a part of G7. So you eliminate Russia. If you eliminate Russia, if you eliminate 1, you are left with B and D. 2, 3, 2, 3, 4. China is not a part of it. We have just discussed. If you divide it continent-wise, 2 are from North America, 4 are from Europe, 1 is from Asia. That is Japan, not China. So the answer is B, 2 and 3 only. As stated by, first stated by Pooja, Rishi, Mamta, Anuj, Ravi, Shashmita, RJ, Bala, Sanjana and Pooja. Very good. PYQ 5 asked in 2009. So present group of nationals, and do write the question number when you're writing the answer. Present group of nations known as G8 started first as G7. In fact, it started first as G6. Which among the following was not one of them? Mamta has given the answer. Russia was not among one of them, right? So it started first as, like, group of nations started first as G7. It became G8 when Russia joined it, and then again they excluded Russia. So the answer is D, Russia, as stated by, first stated by Mamta, Anuj, Shashmita, Ravi, Sanjana and Rishi. Cool. MCQ 6. Operation Sindhu. Operation Sindhu recently in the news is related to counter-terrorism operation in J&K, evacuation of Indian nationals from Iran, flood relief operations in South India, naval exercise in Arabian Sea. So the answer is, as state, so many people stated it, Shashmita, Pooja, Ravi, Vivek, Mamta, Anuj and like others, Rishi and others. So the answer is evacuation of Indian nationals from Iran, that is Operation Sindhu. We have discussed it in the previous articles. Cool, sir? Now page number 12. Calcutta High Court asked Centre to resume implementation of MGNREGS or Mahatma Gandhi or MNREGA, Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Act, which came in 2005. And it is about right to work in rural areas. This MNREGA, it is not providing you right to work in urban areas. It provides you right to work in rural areas. How many days of work? 100 days of unskilled manual work. Do remember the keywords here, important from mains perspective also. Schemes, GS mains paper 2. 100 days of unskilled manual work. Let's say you are a coder. You do coding, computer science, B.Tech from computer science, and you are like, you go to a particular setup, this MNREGA setup, and you are like, give me a C, C++, Java coding work. So they will be like, go away. If you are willing to, dig ponds and do those kind of work where you're creating durable assets, you can do work under MNREGA. Many people feel like we need a similar kind of scheme, MNREGA-like scheme in urban areas. We need right to work in urban areas based on the amount of unemployment we are having currently in our country. So what is your view? Brothers and their sisters, what do you feel about it? Do we need right to work in urban areas, or you feel like, no, sir, MNREGA is anyway lagging behind. Central government currently is not very happy with MNREGA. I already made one video, like I think 2 months back, where we talked about whether Centre will do away with MNREGA because Centre has an objection and they stopped. This issue is what, like they stopped Manrega in Bengal, citing irregularities in funding. They are like, we are giving you fund, we are not seeing enough durable asset, plus there are allegations of corruption, allegations of diversion of resources. Now Calcutta High Court is saying to center that, please sir, you can, and there is a clause which they have used, 27 of Manrega, under which they can stop for a temporary period. Calcutta High Court is saying that it's not a temporary period, it's already more than 2 years. You cannot stop like this. In the meantime, the Bengal government, they came up with their own scheme, because but in that particular scheme, they did not have enough money to provide right to work for 100 days, so they started it for right to work for 50 days. Why not? It's Operation Sindhu was launched to encounter JNK terror. It's not Operation Sindhu, it's Sindhu. Mamta, it's Operation Sindhu, it's not Operation Sindoor. Cool. So what are we discussing here? So let's try to understand this thing. So hope you understood what we are discussing. Now let's try to understand. So in Bengal, they stopped it in 2022. Mamta Banerjee ma'am is saying that she did not file this case in Calcutta High Court. Some other organization did of Bengal, and now Calcutta High Court is saying to center that please resume implementation. You cannot stop it for such a long period. It has played a crucial role, in ensuring that vulnerable people, they get right to work. So Calcutta High Court directed Union government to resume implementation of Manrega from August 1. So again, what do you think will happen? Will you think, central government will go to Supreme Court, or will they resume Manregas in from August 1? Scheme which provides, please remember the important component of Manrega. There are certain schemes which remains in news some way or the other. So that is important. Manrega is very important. Right to information, right to education, all these are very important. 100 days of wage employment to rural households suspended since March 2022. So in fact, it's been more than 3 years now. Legal basis, Ministry of Rural Development said 20. Now they can even ask you, clause 27 of Manrega is associated with what? So it is associated with, withholding funds for a reasonable period. Is it a reasonable period? It's already more than 3 years. So again, you can ask these questions. Maybe that reasonable period is just too reasonable or just too big. Court's observation. So the West Bengal High Court, they are saying that scheme cannot be indefinitely suspended, and Manrega does not envisage permanent suspension. You said, if we go back to the clause 27, reasonable period. This is just beyond reasonable, man. It's like 3 years. And they are saying that whatever issues that you had, West Bengal government, they tried to do away with those irregularities. So please have a talk with West Bengal government and let's start this scheme. Let's not keep it in the suspended animation mode. Suspended animation is a political word. So court acknowledged union government's right to impose conditions to prevent irregularities. Fine, whatever you did. Fine, you invoked that particular clause, but there is a need to distinguish between past issues and future implementation. There were issues in the past, but let's not corrode the future or, impact the future further. Let's reintroduce it. What is your view on this? Let's say in interview, UPSC interview, they ask you this particular question. Do you agree with West Bengal High Court observation that Manrega should be introduced, or you feel like, no, sir? We don't. So court noted that the irregularities in which you can see here that whatever issues they flagged, central government flagged, they are saying, the Bengal High Court is saying that it has been addressed and the recoveries have been made. So please don't postpone it further. It is impacting the vulnerable people of West Bengal. Fund will be returned to Consolidated Fund of India. We can talk about Consolidated Fund, Contingency Fund, Public Account of India later on. These are 3 different funds. You have different gullaks where you store your money. Similarly, central government or parliament, they have 3 gullaks, central government, and where they keep their money. Consolidated fund is the biggest of them all. And then you have contingency fund, public account. So yes, that's a static portion. Impact of suspension. What is happening here? Suspension is estimated to have affected over 2 crore rural workers. It's not about 1 people, 2 people, 3 people. 2 crore means a lot and has contributed to de-stress migration. Because of that, many people from West Bengal, they have went to other areas because they are not getting the work under Manrega. State government, they clarified that they have not filed this petition. It was filed by an independent organization. But they are happy about whatever has happened. And in the meantime, as we have discussed, since people of Bengal were suffering, 2 crore people, so Mamta Banerjee ma'am, she issued this alternative employment program, Karma Shri. They can ask you this. This is a very important fact. They can ask you, what particular scheme was introduced by Mamta Banerjee when Manrega was suspended in West Bengal. And it provides employment for how many days? Half of Manrega, 50 days. So these are again Factual information. Who filed this petition? Pashchim Banga Khet Majur Samiti. So they filed this particular case. Again, hope you understood the gist behind this whole article. A PYQ has already been asked on Manrega. Please try to solve this question. So among the following, who are eligible to benefit from Manrega? Adult members of only the SC and ST tribe households, adult members of below poverty line households, adult members of households of all backward classes, adult members of any household. What is the answer? What do you think is the answer? Anuj has given the answer. Pooja has given the answer. What did I tell you? Again, let's listen to me carefully. I told you Manrega Act passed in 2005. What are the basic provision? It provides 100 days of unskilled manual work. They will not provide you BTech work and this and that, unskilled manual work for 100 days. This is right to work in rural areas, providing you work in rural areas, not urban areas. Did I tell you that only these people will get jobs? Anybody can get a job. I go to rural area, start living in rural area, I want work, and it's a demand driven program. If I want work, they have to give me work. They have to pay the wages within 15 days. Otherwise, they have to pay delayed compensation. All these things are not happening, and that's why Manrega is in news. So the answer is adult members of any household. There is no restriction, bro. This is right to work in rural areas. Anybody can get work. It's just that you have to be, be in that rural area and you can demand for the work. They will give you work for at least 100 days. So that is the basic premise. The answer is D. Adult member of any household are eligible to benefit from Manrega. There is no caveat there. So see, such tricky question that yes, 7D will be the answer. None of you were able to answer it, and that's why PYQs are important. Please solve PYQs. MCQ 8. Which of the following schemes was launched by West Bengal government as an alternative to Manrega during its suspension? Jagannath. Karmashri, Bangakarmi, Krishak Bandhu, Shramik Setu. Oh my God. No issues. Focus, Mamta. Focus, everyone. So, which of the following scheme was launched by West Bengal? The answer is Karmashri, as stated by Shanmugam, Pooja, Bala, Ravi, RJ, Mamta, Rishi, Shashmita. Okay, now let's focus on the editorial. This is the third editorial which we are talking about. India-US relationship we have already discussed. Do remember, there are certain personalities who are very important. Like Amitabh Mattu, you will hear about him a lot. He has written this editorial in Hindu, and he has talked about that India-US relationship for a certain time period. It looked like it was going good. And then Trump came into picture, that I am acting as a mediator between India and Pakistan. All these things started happening. Whenever Trump comes, India-US relationship turns into a transactional relationship. Do remember these words, you have to use these words. We have already talked about India-US relationship earlier. Now whatever we'll be doing, it will be value addition. So people who have not watched my Hindu analysis, they can watch the previous Hindu analysis. Transactional relationship means what? Quid pro quo. You buy 20 items from us, we'll buy 20 items from you, something like that. So Amitabh Mattu sir is saying that the basic premise here, the relationship is deteriorating, the way things are going, the way US is giving importance to, or, to Pakistani army chief, this and that. So the US has given certain statement related to Pakistan. Mattu sir is saying that ignore Trump. Just focus on maintaining deeper ties with US Congress, because Trump is there today. He will not be there every, for like after 5 years, maybe things will change. So we should not be getting drifted by the fact what is happening in the current scenario. We should look at the longer picture, and relationship with US will help us a lot. If we remember Indo-US nuclear deal, it played a crucial role because there was a nuclear alienation, so-called, of like India after the we created nuclear bombs, etc. US played a crucial role in removing that nuclear alienation. There had been issues with US, but we have to look at the bigger picture. We should not be getting too much perturbed by what is happening currently when it comes to US, and we have to ignore Trump to a certain extent. Not exactly he said it, but you can understand where we are going with this. So initial optimism, he was saying that initially things were looking good when it comes to India-US relationship. In like last month or last to last month, there were certain meetings which happened, but then things changed, and the biggest issue was we people did not like Trump interfering into India-Pakistan issue. He going to Twitter and talking about it, all these things. In fact, there is a news which came today also where we talked about we don't like these things, these interference by the so-called third party. So current drift in ties, noticeable but subtle drift. This is not a complete rupture, but again, US welcoming Pakistan chief, saying Pakistan is a very important ally. All these things doesn't augur well for India. That's what Mattu sir is saying. Hosting of Pakistan's army chief by Trump. Pakistan's army chief hosting could have been done by anybody else, because it was not needed to be done by Trump, but they did it. So again, it is seen as a troubling signal. You can understand it's not a new occurrence. Even during the Kargil war, we have talked about it when we were talking about transactional relationship. It's not transnational, it's transactional. Transactional means, that I will love my husband if he will buy me goods. So this is goods and this and that. So this is transactional relationship, Mamta. That I will only buy my husband, I will only love my husband if he buys me this and that. Or again, hope you understand this is just a joke. Transactional means you have to do something for me and then only I will do something for you. It's all about how much you are doing. There is a book which I used to read, I have read, Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus. So there I have read something that everybody keeps a track. Even your girlfriend or your wife is keeping a track how much you are doing for her. Similarly, husband is also keeping a track how much wife is doing for him or her. So if wife feels she's doing a lot more than husband, she will feel too burdened. She may create issues. So husband has to keep a track, and the book was saying that both of them keep track differently because men are from Mars and women are from Venus. You can read that book. That's actually a very awesome book. So let's come back. So here also, when Trump comes, everything becomes very transactional. It is not exactly transactional according to Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus, but they are saying that that book is awesome. And if you read it, it will tell you how to deal with relationship. So again, this is also a relationship we are talking about, India-US relationship, and why things are going south. You know many things, sir. Thank you, Sanjana. So causes of discomfort, revival of India-Pakistan hyphenation. We are not same as Pakistan. Pakistan is a rogue nation. It's a terror state. But now Trump is equating both countries. We are not liking it. Offered Kashmir mediation. Obviously, this is a regressive step. So that's why things are changing. Understand, when you will write about India-US relationship, very important from GS to mains perspective, you have to talk about different dimensions: pestle analysis, political, economic, social, technological, anthropological, legal. So this is a political dimension. This is economic dimension. Trump discouraged. This was a very big news. Apple wanted to invest in India. Trump was like, don't go to India. See, he's the president of US, and these kind of statements have been uttered by, please attach the link of that provides background to India-US development. I'm new here. Shanmugam, somebody else can tell you. I will tell you in the next lectures where we have discussed this. Even if you, you will get this. I will tell you that. Don't worry. So now, this happened. He discouraged Apple from investing in India. There is a particular initiative which you will hear a lot, China Plus One. What is this China Plus One model? China Plus One model is like European countries, US, etc. At one point of time, they were too dependent on China for manufacturing. Anything built, even Apple product built, they were built in China. So they started looking for alternative, and there come the picture of China Plus One, that we cannot just rely on China as manufacturing center of the world. We have to look at other alternative. India was a very lucrative option. Now many people feel that India has somewhat lagged behind. Vietnam and other countries are coming into picture. We have to take advantage of this China Plus One strategy which was devolved earlier. That is actually very important. Yes, I do think so. Trump will spoil relationship with every country. He is that kind of a guy. But that's why author is saying, Mattu sir is saying that we have to ignore Trump to a certain extent. US view. American military officials called Pakistan a phenomenal partner. So you can see here why India is not very happy with US right now. Underlying reasons for the drift, transactional. This is the word here. Transactional relationship. Whenever Trump comes, our relationship turns into transactional nature. Legacy bias towards Pakistan. Earlier also, like we have talked about Kargil war, etc. Even during second India-Pakistan war, 1965 war, all these things, US supported Pakistan a lot. So yes, we cannot. And again, there is another Cold War era thing also. We were close to Soviet Union, USSR, now Russia. So that is also not liked by US that much. Maybe that's why they do these stuff. Now, Mattu sir is saying that avoid overreaction. Trump will do his stuff. We have to avoid overreaction. We have to means engage. This is what we are discussing. We have to engage with US Congress, like their parliament, think tanks, more. Trump is fine, but let's go deeper. Economic reforms, we have to, rather than, Trump discouraging Apple to invest in India, we should invest like more in our models. We should invest more in our public-private partnership, BOT, BOOT, different kind of partnerships are there. We'll talk about it. And so that even anybody discourages, companies will come if the model is good. GST is a very good step in that regard. Earlier, different states used to have different taxation measures, which was not liked by different companies. So we have to focus or look inwards rather than focusing on what Trump is saying. Immigration reframing. Like Trump and has a major issue with H1B visa, etc. Indian people, they are coming to US. Oh my God. There was a fact which I read earlier. Around 3 lakh H1B visa used to be issued. 2 lakh used to be issued to Indians. And he was like, and there were many people who were like, Indians are flooding the US market, etc. etc. We people have to talk about, it's not a one-way thing, bro. If we were not that good, you would not have called us. We are very good. That's why we are like, we have such high demand in US. So we have to reframe this immigration talks, which happens a lot. So again, historical lessons. Pokhran test happened. This is what we are discussing. Yes, US is not that trusted ally as, let's say, Russia. But it's not like relationship is all South. They have helped us. In 2005, Indo-US nuclear deal happened. That played a crucial role in removing the nuclear alienation, which has happened after the Pokhran test. So we need US. US is a very big player. We cannot, get deviated from that relationship path. We have to stick to that particular path. There will be some tensions here and there. So real question is whether both nations will waste a historic chance. Again, you can read all these things. The call is for clarity and the call is for bigger picture. And Trump is not like, and again, we should not be looking at the immediate things which are going on. We should have a look at the bigger picture, engage deeper with US Congress. That's what Mattu sir is saying. Okay, sir. Mainly a means related article which you have to understand. Now, page number 13. And that's why I'm not giving you any pre-related question based on that. This is an article which was published, lateral entry. Very important from GS Mains Paper 2, GS Mains Paper 4. GS Mains Paper 2, you have role of civil services in a democracy. And then GS Mains Paper 4, it's all about ethics and governance. What is lateral entry? So you people, when you will be clearing UPSC, you're not going through becoming civil servant via lateral entry. But what happens after a certain period? Even in like different domains, economic service, etc., we need specialized people. Like if you go to railway service, I'm just giving an example, police service, etc., you're not specialized. You have cleared one exam which was catering to different posts, and you have went and got one of those particular posts based on your rank. But we need specialized people. For that, lateral entry comes into picture. In UPSC, you have reservation system that OBC seats are reserved, seats are reserved as CST. In lateral entry, there is no reservation as such, because when people are appointed, specialized people, they get the rank of secretary, joint secretary. They are there for 3 years or 5 years. It's not for a very long period. So you don't have reservation policies. These are some key features associated with lateral entry, which you have to understand. And then the second point is, what is your view on lateral entry? Do you support lateral entry? Do you support people from specialized professions coming into civil services for a temporary period at higher post, let's say secretary, joint secretary, etc.? Or do you think this is not good, sir? We people, we give 4-5 years in UPSC preparation. We become IS, IPS, IFS, and then we join. And after that, these guys who not even cleared UPSC and they are getting higher posts, this is not acceptable to us. What is your view on lateral entry? Do you support it? Government is saying that they have not abandoned lateral entry and it is in their schemes. What is your view, Mamta, Shanmugam, and Anuj, Sanjana, Pooja, and other people? Your view on lateral entry. It always remains in news. So at least you should know basic attributes of lateral entry, and that's why I have told you all these things. Union government not abandoned this whole lateral entry policy. Government still open to lateral entry. I have told you the basic features of lateral entry. It's not for all posts of IS, IPS, IFS and others. It's for higher post for a temporary period. Reservation policy is not applicable, as Union Minister sir is saying, because they're not there for a very long haul. They're there for a temporary period. So your views will matter. You can think about it. Once even this particular lecture is done, if you develop a thought over it, write it in the comment section. That will help you a lot. If similar kind of questions comes in interview or mains, you won't have to think that much if you have already thought about it. So that's a basic news related to lateral entry. I just wanted to tell you about the basic provisions related to lateral entry rather. Sashmita is saying, for nation's interest, maybe. Cool. Now, page number 10, what was decided at UN Ocean Conference? And UN Ocean Conference and this BBNJ, biodiversity beyond national jurisdiction, that also we have discussed earlier. I don't remember the exact date when, but obviously after 10th of this June, in between, we have talked about this biodiversity beyond national jurisdiction, which is also known as High Sea Means Treaty. What are like high seas? There are keywords here. Anyway, this is environment, and environment is very important from UPSC perspective. So like Nandan Neel Keni, very good Shanmugam. So what is the thing which is important? This biodiversity beyond national jurisdiction is also known as High Sea Treaty. What are those high seas? High seas are those area of the ocean which are beyond national jurisdiction. No one country is having jurisdiction over it. It's beyond nation jurisdiction. Now there are so much resource which are available there, so much diversity which is there, and we have to protect it, preserve it, and let's say even if we are using it for our benefit, we have to ensure equitable sharing. So there are so many things which are going around. Now this United Nations Ocean Conference, first conference happened around 2017, and now they're meeting for the third time. United Nations Ocean Conference, as you can understand. The major talk is about BBNJ, biodiversity beyond national jurisdiction, also known as High Sea Treaty. We have talked about it earlier. And which day, anybody can tell, because I think somebody like Shanmugam was interested. I've told you India US, we have discussed it. Which particular day? There are many people I'm seeing who are watching me from 10th, 11th. So if you know India US, when did we discuss it earlier? High Sea Treaty, we are discussing it for the second time in last 10 days. When have we discussed it earlier? What was the date? Anyone? Please post it in the comment section. So BBNJ aims to protect marine biodiversity in international water. Do remember the keyword here. High Sea Treaty, it is not under any country's jurisdiction. Last time when we have discussed High Sea Treaty, we have discussed that signing and ratification, they are two different things. Many countries have signed it, but until or unless 60 countries ratify it, this High Sea Treaty will not become operational. Last time when we have read it, 49 countries have ratified it. Now 56 countries have ratified it. 60 countries ratification is needed. Only 4 more to go. India has not ratified it. US has not ratified it. So these are some points which are very important from exactly. Vishnu is saying 16th June. Very good, Vishnu. So people who want to know more about BBNJ High Sea Treaty, you can go to 16 June video of mine. You can watch that particular video. 16 June, sure. You can check that date. So provisions include establishment of marine protected area. You can see, yeah, environmental impact assessment. This EIA is explicitly mentioned in your GS mains papers, environment. That is, even before a particular project is constructed, you are looking at the proposed impact of this particular project on environment. That is environmental impact assessment, regulation of marine genetic resources, capacity building, blah, blah, blah. You can read this thing. We have talked about the important facts. 160 countries signed. Sign does not matter. Ratification matter. Last time when we have read it, 49 countries ratified, 60 is needed. Now it has increased to 56. India has still not ratified it. US has not ratified it. And because last time again when we have read, we have talked about that how we need some changes in Biological Diversity Act, etc., and we are not very comfortable with it. Plus equitable sharing of resources in these high seas, how it will be done, who will decide it. We have issues with that also. There is ambiguity related to it, that High Sea Treaty, this BBNJ, how they are going to ensure that how the resources will be divided among different countries. Cool. So India and US, 70 ratification expected. They only need 60. First BBNJ conference again. You can read all these things. Key challenges, equitable sharing of benefits. This is what we are discussing. From high seas, how they are, they will be devolving resources among states. Again, will US have maximum resource because they're very powerful? So we are not very sure about this equitable sharing, and that's why maybe we are not ratifying it. Concerns over commercial exploitation of marine genetic resources without clear guidelines. So there are some issues which, High Sea Treaty has to take into consideration. United Nations Ocean Conference, they talked about High Sea Treaty in general, but this is not the only thing. They have done a lot in the past, and this is their achievements which they're talking about. You can have a look at it. Just I've given you to give you an idea what different countries are doing to create our marine reserves, blah, blah, blah. Not very important. What is important, you will understand from the questions. This is MCQ 9. Have a look at it. And that's why solving questions are actually important. That help you in remembering facts. Why India is yet to ratify this treaty? Because, as we have discussed, if you have to ratify this treaty, they have talked about some changes in our Biological Diversity Act. Then there is a talk about equitable sharing of resources from high sea. How this equitable sharing will be done? It is not explicitly mentioned properly, and we have issues with that. We are like, we need more clarity on how equitable sharing of resources will be done in the high seas. So these are some major grievances, Ravi, why we have not yet ratified it, you know. So Shanmugam, he has given, so High Sea Treaty, also known as Biodiversity Beyond National Jurisdiction Agreement, BBNJ. So that is important. RJ has given the answer, Sashmita tried it, Ravi, Kirtana, Rishi, Mamta, plastic concerns, especially Indian and South Atlantic Ocean. Very good, Vishnu. Pooja has also given the answer. PYQ 10, UPSC 2002. Now, see, what happens is, I generally, when we make this Hindu editorial, I sit at 5 a.m. and for till 9 a.m. I'm continuously seated, and because you analyze editorials, and then we have one StudyIQ PYQ book. I just write stuff. Let's say I saw ocean treaty, etc. I will just write on the search ocean. Any PYQ related to ocean I get, I think like this is good question, so which we should discuss. So I got this particular question. You may feel like, sir, what are you doing? We have not read about anything. Just whatever prerequisite knowledge you have right now, think about it, try to solve this question. I will tell you the beauty of this question, why I have included this question here. It's such awesome question. Geography, environment, everything mixing here, climatology. So try it. Don't worry if you're getting this wrong. I want all of you to get this wrong, because once you understand it, then you will not get it wrong in actual exam. So please try it. So in geography, you will read climatology. For climatology, there is one book which is awesome, G.C. Leong. So you can read that book, or I think our faculty will be doing geography. He will be covering climatology from G.C. Leong only. That is actually awesome. This guy, G.C. Leong, he died like so many years back, but that book is still like awesome. So how many people tried it? Anuj, Shashmita, Shanmugam, Ravi. Hello, Ankit. Oh, Ankit. Cool. So yeah, so see, this in equatorial region, year is divided into 4 main seasons. Even if you have a basic idea, when you will read climatology, when you will read G.C. Leong, or if you join our course, and if you're reading geography, so that in that, like, you will realize that equatorial region, 0 degree, 8 or 10 degree north and south, so that area, they receive rainfall almost every day. So they don't have distinct season per se. Almost every day of 12 months is more or less the same, Convection will happen, then convectional rainfall will happen. So it's not that hunky-dory. In fact, the area which is very close to equator, not exactly, like India is 8 degree north to 37 degree north. So 8 degree north region, Tamil Nadu region, Karnataka region, even I was in Hyderabad. So you will go there, there is a saying which goes around that people wear winter clothes because they have bought it. There is not much change. So you can understand what happens in the area which is actually very near. Tamil Nadu is not that near, but the area which are very near, Singapore is very close to equator. You don't witness that many seasons. It's almost same, similar. So what we were discussing, yes. Where were we? I forgot. So yes, in equatorial region, the year is not divided into 4 main seasons. If you just know that fact, eliminate options. A, B and C gone. So you're left with D, 3 and 4. That's it, done. Even if you don't know anything about Mediterranean region, China type climate, tropical highlands, we can solve this question. You can solve this question by this basic, fact. So yeah, cool. So yesterday, Ankit sir was taking Indian Express at 4. So I went to his class. I wrote, hello Ankit sir, you're looking just like a wow. So we do these things. Okay, let's focus here. So the answer is D, 3 and 4. Now let's solve MCQ 11. Study Sashmita, study Rishi and others. The main objective of BBNJ. We just do wow, we just say stuff to each other and then we go away. So main objective is what? Promote deep sea mining in national waters, regulate marine trade among coastal countries, conserve marine biodiversity in areas beyond national jurisdiction, de-establish exclusive economic zones for landlocked countries. So the answer is conserve marine biodiversity in areas beyond national jurisdiction. Cool. So that's it from me, sir and ma'am. I will share this particular PDF in this Telegram channel of mine, Fun Study with Shubh. People who have not joined it, you can join this particular group. You will get all the PDFs. In those PDFs, you can even see where we have discussed BBNJ, etc., etc. Fun Study with Shubh. Study should be fun. And please post your score in the comment section, how many you got correct. Out of we have done 11 questions today. Yesterday, yesterday we have done 12 questions. Today we have done 11. Please post your answer in the comment section. Also, sir and ma'am, let's say you are preparing for 2026 or 2027. So 2026, you can join our morning batch, 8 a.m. to 11 p.m. Let's say you are a complete beginner and you're watching these videos for conceptual clarity. Then you can join our evening 2027 batch. That batch is starting little later, around 27 June. I will show you the data. Procedure is not that different, but these two, like 2026 and 2027 batch, these two cater to different people. 2026 batch is for people who are not that beginner, who have a basic idea. You just need proper notes, proper revision, proper group to study, to streamline your study. You're facing issues somewhere or the other. So 2026 batch is for those people. You can use my code. 2027 batch, as we keep on saying in my different Hindu analysis, is for those people who are complete beginners, who feel like they're starting from scratch. They're watching these Hindu videos for building their base. Then you can join the 2027 batch. That will help you. In fact, I think 2026 batch will also help you in that regard. But I personally feel that if you're a beginner, you should not put too much pressure that I have to do everything in 1 year. You can take 2 years. And again, you know it better, whether you want to give it in 2026 or 2027. If you want to give UPSC CSE in 2026, you can join the 2026 batch. If you plan for 2027 batch. Don't rush. I tell this thing to many people, don't rush. Many people are like, this happened with me. I was working as a software engineer at Samsung. My mother, my cousins, one is an IPS, one is in one of the 32 services. So my mother was like, and there is a sibling rivalry which happens. So my mother was like, give these attempts when I was still working as a software engineer in Samsung, so much pressure. And I wasted 2-3 attempts just like that. So people, it's a humble request from my side. Please don't waste your attempt. You have to decide whether you are giving 2026 or 2027. But you have to study like you are giving 2026. Right now only, if you feel and if you think like, thank you, Kirtana. If you start feeling like, no, I have to, I will give in 2027, then you will start studying like a 2027 aspirant. What do I mean by that is, you will become lethargic. Some days you will attend Hindu session, some days you will not. But if you currently think that, no, I have to give in 2026, let's make a proper schedule or join this batch and I will follow the schedule. Then what happens? Everything is streamlined. And even, I'm not telling you if you're thinking right now you have to give 2026, you have to give in 2026 only. 1 week before the exam, based on your mock test marks and how you are performing, you can decide whether to give that attempt or not. But don't currently feel or go in that mode that no, I will give after 2 years, because I have seen people suffering because of it also. But I also don't suggest you to waste your attempt. So use your attempt wisely. So what you have to do, if you have to join either of these two batches, 2026 or 2027, go to StudyIQ.com. Go to, and many people who have watched my video earlier, they know the procedure. All languages, you have to go to English. And here, this is 2026 batch. You can join this 2026 batch if you feel like you are giving in 2026. You have a basic idea. People who are like, no, we need more, we have just started, sir. 2026 is a little too soon. You can join 2027 batch. The difference is 2026 batch is morning batch, as we have discussed, 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. And this long-term evening batch, this 2027 is 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Process for both of them is same. If I tell you for 2026, you will go to buy now. And here you will add my promo code SHS Live, which you are seeing, add promo code. That will help you. And the features, they will vary a little bit. But in 2026 batch, you have live classes. If you miss those classes, you can watch those videos later on also. This is valid for 3 years, diamond batch. That's why I'm saying even people who want to give it in 2027, they can also take this particular batch, 2026 batch. Because since this is valid till 2028, you can use these particular videos for 2027 classes also. So it's totally up your call which year you will be giving, because and then lecture notes, one-to-one mentorship. I like this particular provision rather, one-to-one mentorship. This is important. So yes. So based on your which area do you like? And again, if you have any queries, don't worry, Shashmita, if you were wrong in many questions, that's totally fine. You don't have to do it wrong in the actual exam. If you have any more queries, you can ask me in the comment section. You can see here, scholarship is there, and there is one program where if you clear UPSC pre next year, 2026, we'll initiate full refund for you. So all these things are there. This thing is good actually. 3 years validity is actually good. I have taken one particular course of some institute long way back, and it used to expire after certain months. So that was not good. I have to keep on telling them to renew it, and that did not happen. So it breeds frustration. So when you have a longer validity, that actually helps. So add promo code, go here, and you will enter my coupon code, that is SHS Live. You will put on the apply, like press on the apply sign, and you will see the price has reduced by 7,000. So that's how you can join. Similar process for 2027 batch also, and the features will be longer, and that batch will be valid for a longer period, obviously. So all these things you have to take into consideration. The only thing which you have to keep in mind is use the code SHS Live. Oh my God. Cool, sir. So anything else you want to ask me? What have you people written in the comment section? Thank you, Shashikala. Yes, I'll be gone now. So I don't think you people have any doubts. If yes. One more announcement I want to make to you people. See, whether I'll be taking Hindu or not, that was not decided before, I think 8th or 7th June. Around 7th or 8th June, hear this story of mine because this is important. It was decided that I will take Hindu, and I've started taking Hindu. So before that only, around 1st or 2nd June, there was a plan which was made by my family that I will go and meet my family. My family is in Kolkata. I have not seen them from last 6 months. Even like back in like when I met them in January or something like that. At that time I met them for one day. So it's been a long wait. So tomorrow morning I'm going to Kolkata. Friday morning. I'll be coming by Monday evening. So I'll meet you again on Tuesday. If I would have known earlier that Hindu would be assigned to me, maybe I would not have gone, or I would have gone for 1 or 2 days. I don't know. But yes, that plan was made earlier. So don't kill me. If when I meet you on Tuesday morning, I'll meet you on Tuesday morning. So I'll be gone tomorrow. Day after tomorrow, 7 p.m. my video comes. I have recorded it, so that will come as it comes on Friday, Saturday, and Monday. But yes, I will not be there for the Hindu analysis part. As I've told you, that plan was done earlier. I'm actually homesick right now. I've not seen them for such a long period. Kolkata is actually very far from Gurgaon, so yeah. So I will see you people on Tuesday, and again, as I've told you, hopefully, the more participation it is. And yes, like, share, subscribe. Tell it to as many people as possible. In the meantime, if you don't see, like when you will not see me tomorrow, Saturday and Monday, revise all the Hindu analysis which I have done earlier. That will give you a conceptual clarity. As we have just discussed High Sea Treaty, India-US relationship, etc. These things we have covered earlier. So when we meet on Tuesday and we have more discussions, there will be certain articles which we have covered earlier, and then you will understand things in a much better manner. Exactly. Family is must. Happy journey. Thank you, everyone. So, hope you will not kill me on Tuesday at where I was. I have just told you everything. Sometimes I tell a lot of more stuff which I shouldn't, but that's who I am. So, okay. Take care. Be blessed. I will see you people on Tuesday then. Bye-bye. Cool, Sanjana. I will see you there in Kolkata then.